What? That is the most creative basking area I have seen in a while. Oh my gosh, look at this little turtle. It's so cute. I love it. What is up, guys? It is the Turtle Girl. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. Today we're reacting to your map turtle tanks. So map turtles are basking turtles, usually of the genus Graptomes. They're related to sliders and painteds, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of just focus on some different species during these upcoming react videos. And I'm really looking forward to it, so let's hop into the first one. This comes from Myra, or Mira, in Iowa, and this is home to Ray Charles, the Mississippi map turtle. So first off, this is a 29-gallon. You can see the egg crate basking area, her filter, and everything. I really love all of the green in this tank. I think you've done a good job with filling in the space, decorations, you guys know. That's my big thing. And the egg crate basking area as well. It's an efficient and inexpensive way to provide an above tank basking area. It looks like you've got your lights up there as well. And you're just maximizing all of the space in this 29-gallon. You said you're planning on upgrading, so I'm super happy to hear that. What's really cool here is how you have a bunch of different textures with the decorations. You've got sand on the bottom, but you've also layered in some larger rocks as well as some wood, and it looks like some plastic plants. And look at your turtle. Your turtle is absolutely beautiful. One thing I really love about map turtles is that they tend to have some cool little markings on their shell, and sometimes even a bit of a like serrated edge on those top scoots in the middle there. Map turtles just have a really cool look, so thanks for sending this in, Mira. This 40-gallon is from Stephanie in Texas, and it's actually kind of reminiscent, honestly, of the tank behind me. I love what you've done with the driftwood and the sand at the bottom, as well as, you know, the basking area. We're kind of twinning. As you can see, Charlie is a big, beautiful map turtle. He's got some tank mates in there, Buenos Aires tetras. I hope that that's working out for you. I see you also have an internal filter in the corner. The tank itself looks like immaculately clean. Good job with that. If you do notice more debris and things on the bottom, you may need to increase your filtration. Your turtle is pretty big. I don't know if an upgrade is something that's ever crossed your mind, but if you have considered it, or if you would consider it, I'm sure that Charlie would use all of that new space that would be available. Map turtles love to swim, just like their cousins, the slider and painted turtles, so they will use any space. That light just turned on. What the heck? So they will utilize any of that space that you make available to them. I do have to say my favorite thing about this tank is the sand. I just think it looks really good. The color is really nice. It looks super natural. If you're watching this right now, Stephanie, please tell me what kind of sand that is, because I really like the way it looks. Andrew from England. This next tank's from Andrew from England. So the water is green. We've got some green water. Interesting. This next tank is from Andrew in England. As you can see, it's rimless, which always makes for a nice looking tank, but you are struggling with some green water here. So this is your 90-gallon tank. As you can see, the basking area is off to the left, and there's the lights on top. So if you're struggling with green water, one thing to look out for is if your tank is in direct sunlight, because that extra light exposure can cause algae to bloom. Now, the thing is that algae has to be, you know, feeding off of some kind of nutrients in the water. So more frequent water changes can help alleviate that, or even introducing some other live plants in order to use up some of those nutrients. And you say that you got 2 canister filters in here, which is great. I've heard that also adding a UV filter might be something that could help with green water. Now, I do have to say, personally, I've never had to deal with it, so that's my best advice that I've got for you. You can also try cutting down on the amount of light that's shining in your tank. And one last thing before we move on, I see you got your submarine in there, but you could also add some more decorations. Next up is this 90-gallon tank from Vanessa in Canada. And oh my gosh, this basking area is probably the most creative one that I've seen in a while, and I think it looks super duper cool. Perhaps if you're watching, you can tell us if you DIY'd this, but it almost looks like one of those like pot planters, and then you made big holes in it so that the water could circulate and your turtle could kind of use it as a hide. And then you stacked a rock on top of it so your turtle can get up and bask, and then attached, you know, some kind of ramp so that they would have easy access. It looks really cool, and I think you've done a great job with it. And then you've also got this ginormous water lettuce, which is, you know, helping to pull nitrates out of the water. And then you've got a cool little manzanita, or some kind of driftwood tree, there on the bottom left. This is just such a lovely tank, especially with the sand at the bottom. You said you're running an FX4 canister filter on here, which is amazing. I absolutely love my Fluval FX4. best canister filter, honestly, in my opinion. They can be a little pricey, but they get the job done really, really well. For those of you who ask, in my 75-gallon musk turtle tank, that is what I use. In fact, I'll actually link it in the description below if any of you are interested in looking at that filter. Might put a bit of a dent in your wallet in the beginning, but it is definitely worth the investment. You also have something that kind of looks like, I mean, I don't really want to say it, but it's literally what it looks like. I mean, it kind of looks like a toilet brush scrubber. I think it might be like a turtle toy. So it kind of just has like bristles on it. So I guess that's one way to provide enrichment for your turtle, as long as they're not able to like eat the plastic or anything. I'm sure it's fine, and can provide, you know, something to entertain them. Or actually, I mean, it more looks like a bottle brush, maybe. We can say it's a bottle brush. It doesn't have to be a toilet brush, but this is just a lovely setup. It looks really nice with the black canopy over the top. And again, A+ job on your basking area. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Vanessa. This here is a 29-gallon home to Tex the Map Turtle coming from Sheridan in Arkansas. You can see that there is an internal filter in here, which doesn't always work in all turtle tanks, but Sheridan said that they found success when they used it in combination with a wave maker, so it's cool that you found a solution that way. And then there's also the basking area over the middle, as well as the use of a mercury vapor bulb. Now Sheridan shared that, well, Sheridan shared that Tex is actually a male map turtle and a runt at that. So this turtle is only 3 inches, or actually I think smaller than 3 inches in length. So male map turtles in general tend to grow quite a bit smaller than most other species of turtles. In fact, if you wanted a smaller turtle, male map turtles are on that list along with, you know, like musk turtles or male painted turtles. You said it's possible that Tex's growth was actually a little bit stunted because of improper lighting growing up, but I'm glad to see he has this setup put together now, and who doesn't love a small little turtle? This one is from Carlos in LA, California, and it is home to Digger the Map Turtle. First off, you can see that there are both live and fake plants in here. Great job with all of the decorations. It's super cool how you've decorated it, so there's kind of like a plant area on the left and then some of the wood structures on the right hand side. You also have a fair amount of platies in this tank, which I think is awesome. Platies are one of the fish that I'm going to be trying next with my musk turtles. Wink wink, leave a thumbs up if you're excited to see that. That's actually a video that's coming up. I will be adding some platies to the Six Musketeers tank. But anyway, that's off topic, but your tank is just absolutely beautiful. I love the floating plants, and that leaves something for Digger to snack on if they do decide to, you know, just try the floating plants. Although in my research, I found that map turtles tend to be a little bit more carnivorous, like less herbivorous leaning than sliders, say, might be. So if you're looking at different turtle species, map turtles may be less likely to eat plants, at least from my research. I don't know. Map turtle owners, you can tell me in the comments if that's wrong. This next one is a 40 breeder home to Spike the Map Turtle. First off, Spike is a great name for any turtle. With your tank here, you've got both real and live plants, which is pretty cool. You've got a floating basking dock on the left. Your turtle does look pretty large, so just make sure that they're able to get completely dry on that floating basking dock. Make sure that it's able to hold their weight, because if they're sinking, sometimes their plastron can't get totally dry, and that could, you know, eventually lead to issues like shell rot. So just something to keep in mind there. But the tank looks clean. You've got a wave maker in here, so good job with that. You guys know that wave makers are literally one of my favorite things for turtle tanks. So I'm glad that there's a lot of, you know, circulation and filtration to keep Spike nice and happy in here. Next up, hello Hoku. Next up is a 20-gallon long from a subscriber in Philadelphia. This is a 20-gallon, and they said that they knew that it was a little small. They actually got this turtle unexpectedly, so I'm not sure if it was like a rescue or rehoming situation like that. As you can see, you've got the filter and above tank basking area. All of the basics are covered here. I'm glad that you said you're planning on upgrading, because as you can see, the turtle is pretty substantial for the size of this tank. But I do really like your volcano bubbler in the corner. I think that's pretty neat. Keep in mind that with more water volume, you should also provide some more filtration in order to keep the water clean. But I will say it looks like you're doing a pretty good job on this smaller tank. Just make sure you're keeping up with water changes so that your turtle can be happy as possible. Next up is a Hatchling map turtle tank from Dylan in Ireland, which I can tell because you have lots of green. I'm kidding, that was a joke. Anyway, I love your use of all of the fake plants in here. Plenty of stuff for your turtle to hold on to as he climbs to the surface. You can see the little turtle right there in the middle of the tank. There's the basking area in the upper left, and it looks like you have a canister filter on the outside providing some filtration. It's bare bottom, and the tank itself looks very clean, so you've done a great job. Scotland, Blair Carlisle. Like Philip Carlisle? Are you related to Philip Carlisle from The Greatest Showman? I don't know. Anyway, this is a smaller, I think maybe a 15 or 10 gallon tank, home to a map turtle as well as a river cooter, and these are hatchlings. So you can see the filter off to the right. Most of you already knew as soon as you saw this picture. The thing I'm going to mention here is your gravel. And while the color is very fun and very happy and exciting, it's a nice blue. As the turtles get bigger, it's possible that they could eat that gravel. So once they start growing and can fit that gravel in their mouth, I would suggest removing it just for the sake of it being a potential risk of impaction. Sand is a good option, or river rocks are a good option. Just, keep an eye out on that gravel. You've got the basking area on the left as well as some basking lights, which is great. And you do have all the basics covered, but you could also use some more decorations, especially when you have 2 turtles, even as hatchlings. You just want to provide them with spaces to get away from each other, break up their line of sight so that you minimize the chances of aggression. Chris from Minnesota. How about Tiny Soda? Chris from Tiny Soda. It's really not a funny joke, but I just, say whatever comes into my head. Okie dokie, so this one is a 75 gallon from Chris in Minnesota, and the scaping here is just incredible. So you said the bottom is Cereus stone, which you've kind of layered, and then you said you also had wave makers, which kind of help stir up the bottom. I'm telling you guys, wave makers are like the next thing that everyone needs to have in their turtle tank. I don't know if I caused that or if just people just started figuring it out. I don't know. Let me know if you got a wave maker because I mentioned wave makers. I would appreciate it. And then you just have all different kinds of wood kind of reaching throughout the tank. You've got bigger pieces, smaller pieces, which really adds to the natural atmosphere that you've kind of created here. And then you also have some guppies and mollies. As I've said in other videos, live bearers can make great tank mates for turtles. And then you also have some aquarium co-op easy planters in here, so great job with that. It looks like you've tried to get some java fern, maybe wisteria in there. Looks like you kind of have some of the stuff that I have in my tank as well, so that is really, really cool. And then you said this basking area is from PetSmart. I'd love to know what kind of basking area that is because it looks really nice with kind of the mesh siding and the area down below. I don't really have anything to critique about this tank. I just gotta say it looks great. It looks natural. I really love it. So I think what we've learned from this video is that wave makers are in, live bearers are in, trying live plants are in. So, those are just some suggestions if you're setting up a turtle tank. Anyway, that's all I got today for map turtle tanks. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and also comment down below what your favorite tank was that you saw today. Obviously, it's not a competition, but I like to see what some of your guys' favorites are, and it's always just a fun time. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next Friday. Have a totally awesome day. Bye!